Hello, everybody, and welcome to Choice, Change, and Action podcast. Action. Say that better. Choice, Change, and Action podcast. Welcome. I am in Barcelona, Spain. Tomorrow I head to Mallorca. Very, very, very excited about that. And today, the podcast I have for you is about a new business that I've just created, and it's whatever makes you happy. The website is literally whatever makes you happy. The U being the letter U, not YOU. Okay, whatever makes you happy. And it's a business on some merchandise that I created. So I had one of the people that I work with. She sent me a bunch of questions, and I wanted to talk about this. Well, obviously, I want to launch the business and let you know it exists. But here's the way it was created. Here's the backstory. Have you ever wondered about the backstory of businesses or why you choose to create something? And I recently we had some photo shoots with this merchandise. It's merchandise. And one of the photographers, Emily Lau, said to me, Simone, I think I'm finally getting what you mean about joy of business, the way you create business and the way you choose it, etc. What she was referring to is one of the businesses that I created, intimate play cards, right? And I created that with my lover, intimate play cards. And the game is actually available on this website, whatevermakesyouhappy.com. But I created that deck of cards to play, to be more intimate, to, I guess, like slow things down. Like, what if you could play for hours instead of just a shorter period of time, to explore, to have conversations that you've never had before? So in those cards, it's got soft play and hard play. And she recently was playing it and she was like, God, that was so much fun. And she said that it was so different. And that's the whole idea, is it creates difference in your sex life, with your lover, your friend, whoever. Like, what if it was opening up something different? So I created that. And when I created that business, I said, I don't want to do this if it's not going to be joyful. Like, if it's not going to be joyful, then I'm not up for it. It has changed so many people's lives. I've had conversations with young, early 20s who thought they didn't like sex. And then when they started to play with the cards, they discovered, actually, I do like sex. I mean, can be so different. And if you are willing to have some conversations about some stuff, then you can play a whole different way in sex. Let's put it that way. So anyway, intimate play cards are a business that I created, and they are available on this site. But it got me looking at all the businesses that I create, because my main thing is being an access consciousness facilitator. I've been involved in access consciousness for over 25 years, and I freaking love it. Absolutely love it. I have just finished facilitating a bunch of classes, and they were mostly advanced classes in Europe. And my goodness, it was so cool. And for me, joyful, happy, and to see other people just so joyful and happy and with their bodies and what they're choosing and everything, money, finances, relationships, all of it and more. It's just like, wow, how did I get so lucky? Also, what I am a pretty big advocate of, especially in the past, however, I don't know, 5-6 years, is to live, like choose to live. Because myself included, it's like, how many of you get so caught up in work and what you must do? I know I've spent a lot of times judging myself that I'm not doing enough. I need to work harder, more, etc. And that's not true. It's a lie. So how many of you are telling yourself the lie that you need to work harder or you need to, do more? It's not. What if you could be more? What if it's something entirely different to what you think it is? What if you could work elegantly? What the hell does that mean? Well, why don't you find out? What if you ask a question? What would it take for me to be working elegantly with this business, or, inviting money in rather than forcing money in? There is a different way to be here on the planet. And I've referred to it quite a few times now about the noise, around the world. And I don't think offhand, I can't think of any political system or any country that's actually running itself for the land, being stewards of the land, and for the people. It's, I think we're living in one of the most corrupted times ever. And what are you going to choose with that? Are you going to choose to get sucked into all the noise, etc.? Or are you going to ask to be something different? Because do you realize how powerful and potent you are? Do you? Do you? So I created this merchandise business. Now, the interesting thing was that was the business I had many, many, many years ago when I met Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here from Access Consciousness. That was my main business. I had a big warehouse in Brisbane, Australia, lots of merchandise, lots of sizes, lots of colors, lots of everything. Like, it was big. I was selling online music festivals, wholesaling, etc. And I had other things that I was importing and selling those as well. So basically a wholesale business, except when I worked at music festivals and expos, then I would retail it too. So it was a lot. And when I came across Access, I was like, oh my goodness, this is everything that I've been looking for and asking for. Everything that I was creating in my merchandise, I was like, this is quicker. Like, Access has the tools and the processes to change any area of your life that you think is not working for you. So I was doing both. And then I guess came to the moment that I was like, gosh, access, gosh, God, I can't speak. Gosh, access consciousness is what I have been asking for, and it's everything I was seeking. So I'm still here. And I love that you can include so many different things in your life. You know that saying of give a busy person something to do, it's going to get done? Well, it sort of goes for all of you. Like, how many programs or how many things do you have open on your computer, or do you have many? Okay. That's being a humanoid. It's like we have humans and humanoids here on the planet. That's a whole other topic. But, humans are sort of like that, it's death and taxes until you die, rather than, well, it's life and taxes until you die, and that's it. Rather than a humanoid is very creative. They're the people who will mostly judge themselves. Stop it. But they're creative and they know that there's something else possible. Like, do you know there's something else possible? When you look outside, are you like, what the fuck? There's got to be something different. And that's how I was when I came across Access Consciousness. So here I am today. If you want to find out more about it, go to accessconsciousness.com. Also, the clearing statement, which is friggin' brilliant, theclearingstatement.com. But I wanted to talk about this business. It's launched. Go check it out. It's awesome. It's epic. Okay. And with this too, I mean, yes, let's make some money, and yes, let's change the world, and yes, let's engage with people in a different way, and yes, let's create it from the space of being really present and engaging with people and everyone that we, use and ask to be involved. So for starters, the company name, Whatever Makes You Happy, I started that after my last long-term relationship breakup, and we had created so much together, business-wise, financially, etc. And all the companies and all the trusts that we had were all in our names. And getting out of that, or even being left with some of the company names, like my super fund, which is an Australian retirement plan sort of thing, is literally in our names. Little disguised because it's got the initials, but I know why and how it started. I made the demand of myself that I would never have another company that was in a name, especially attached to somebody else. It's like, do something different. What would be fun for me? So I went, oh, whatever makes you happy. So whatevermakesYouHappy.com. So that's how I've been choosing a lot of the businesses and the projects and the ideas that I do. Does it make me happy? Yeah. Okay, let's go. Notice it's not, will this make me $1 million? Will this make me money? It is a good question to ask, and I do include money, but that's not the initial reason for choosing it. Okay. I have revenue streams in a variety of ways, in a diverse way. I have a lot of different investments. So I'm, don't just have everything, all my eggs in one basket. I've got lots of baskets and lots of eggs, and this is another one. So some of them make more money than others, and some are literally just put a big smile on my face as well. Like, where are you not choosing something and creating something because you've decided it's not going to, quote unquote, make you enough money? Don't make it about the money. Include money, but don't make it about the money. Okay. What if you could receive in a very different way? So there was one of the questions that was sent in that from someone I work with was there a specific moment that sparked this? And the first merchandise business I ever created, I was about 16 and I just had all these ideas of what I wanted to do and put, you know, do some stickers, etc., and put sayings on t-shirts that I thought would change people's lives as they read them. Fast forward, ended school, I went traveling and I kept writing and writing and writing. And I remember writing this huge piece about vulnerability. I wish I could find it. Oh, you know what? I just found all these boxes at my parents' house. Wonder if it's in there. I've got like 8 big boxes that in my garage that I need to go through and either chuck it or keep it or just laugh about it, whatever. But I wrote this big long piece on vulnerability, and my sort of desire, request, my question was, what would it take for people to be more vulnerable with each other and also with themselves? Okay, also with themselves. So I created this merchandise business, but then of course, like I said, I met Access and went, oh my goodness, and lots of fast forwards because there's been a lot of things that I've chosen over the years. And recently, I wear t-shirts, mainly horse riding and to the gym, sometimes at home, but I don't wear t-shirts out all the time, but I wear them at those places. And I really enjoy wearing something that I enjoy, that feels good, like literally on my body. And I love, having something that it says on it. So I thought, okay, let's create something. And then as I spoke about it, some people were like, oh, I'd love to have that too. So the first design that I ever did was, you are not as fucked up as you think you are. Now, that came across because the first advanced class that I ever went to in Access, it was a 4-day class. At the time, it was called Level 2 and 3. It's now called Choice 4 Possibilities, which is one of the classes I facilitate. And it was with Gary Douglas. And I had no idea what he was talking about. 4 days, I'm in this room, got this big, thick manual with lots of tools and lots of topics and clearings and all of that. I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? It was so different and so odd. And yet it was so familiar. Every day I'd go home and I had a big smile on my face, and I'd come into class the next day and be like, wow, what else is going to show up today? But I seriously couldn't recall anything he was talking about. But I knew it was changing something. Like, have you ever noticed that you're very susceptible to energy? And like energetically, you can be around someone and you start to, be happy, or maybe you start to get angry, or maybe, the quantum entanglements, like science says, how we pick up on the energy of others, etc. That's a whole other tool that we have called Who Does This Belong To? When like for all your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, ask the question of who does this belong to? If it lightens up, guess what? It's not yours, because you don't have to have all these feelings and emotions that tie you into something like a construct that is really solidified. There's more available. And one of the only things I could remember Gary saying at this class was, you are not as fucked up as you think you are. And I was like, what? And I got my pen, got my manual out, found a blank page, and I wrote that down. You are not as fucked up as you think you are. And I remember thinking to myself, I can go with that. I can start with that. That's a good start. So that's how that design came across. And we have that on a t-shirt, right? And I was wearing it at my gym one day. My personal trainer said to me, he goes, does your t-shirt say what I think it says? And I went, yep. He was like, okay, that's good. It's amazing how many people will engage with you and relate. I love when you travel with these t-shirts. I do wear them on planes. When you travel with these t-shirts and you see people's reactions, because some just want to look away and some are so drawn to you. A friend of mine that I work with, she had this t-shirt on, and someone walked over to him and was like, thank you so much. I so needed to hear that today, to read that. You are not as fucked up as you think you are. So for me, it's like, what if through this merchandise we can engage with each other in a really different way, and engage with yourself, engage with the world. Like I said right at the beginning, man, it's up to us to create a different world here, okay? And it doesn't have to be from fight. It's like, what can we be today that would change the insanity? And everything that is times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, boys, perverts, creations, bases, and beyonds. Again, that's the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. You can find out more at theclearingstatement.com. One of the another design is Magic, Miracles, and Chaos. I like this too, because you choosing what works is magic. You being you is a miracle. And chaos is a creative energy, it's a creative source. And most people will avoid that because they've decided it's havoc. Havoc is more destructive, chaos is literally a creative source. Last time I was traveling, I had this t-shirt on and there was a Qantas air hostess and she came over and she was like, wow, magic, miracles, and chaos. I'll have that. I was like, cool. Like, you know, you get to find your peeps around the world. Next one is literally has the question on the front of the t-shirt, what can I be today? So what can I be today? It's not what can I do today, it's what can I be today? And then on the back, I tried something a little bit different and I have this very long quote, which I sort of think is funny because if you're going to read it, you have to stand still and let someone read it. It's on your back. And it's a long quote on being in allowance. And that quote is by Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness. I'm not going to read it out to you. Go find it and search for it yourself. But what if you were in allowance of you? What if you were in allowance of others? What could you be being in allowance create and generate for the world and for you? Okay. Next design we have is let go and fly. This is a really simple one and I think it's beautiful, and you can take all of these, you can take them as you would like to. For me, this was a personal conversation that I had with Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, and I was talking to him about some things that I had decided really mattered. And when you make something really matter, have a look at it. Like if you think of something in your life right now and you're going, this really matters. Like it could be a business, it could be you're making money really matter, it could be a friendship, a relationship. How much do you eliminate choice? You know, there's a in Star Wars, there's a time where there's a character and he says, you know, you're never going to be able to receive anything else or have anything else if you don't let go of this. So Gary said to me one day, he said, what if you just let go and fly? I was like, wow, okay. So I started to write that down and I started to use it. So there it is. It's on a t-shirt now. The next design is Dear Universe, what else is possible? So it's not asking, Dear Universe, what else is possible with money? That's more of a demand for more money. It's literally, will you now just not put your attention on anything in particular, but let down your walls and barriers. Any of the wall, and you go, how the hell do I do that? Just let them down. Okay, just let them down. Any of the walls and barriers that you have up to anything and everyone. Like how many of you have a barrier up to money? You go, why would I do that? I don't know, but you do. You choose it. Your judgments will create these limitations for you. So if you let down your walls and your barriers, destroy and uncreate your limitations, stop friggin' judging yourself and ask the question, Dear Universe, what else is possible? It's on a t-shirt. The next one is Trust You and the Universe. And that was a really cool story, actually. I was having a conversation with Gary and Dane and the guys I work with, in case you don't know. And Gary, I was talking to him about riding my horse Pluma bareback at El Lugar in Costa Rica. And he said to me, okay, what was that like? Because we were talking about other things. And I said, well, you have to be really present. Like you're riding her bareback and I have to be really present with myself. I have to trust my body, trust her, and trust me. And Gary said, yes, and trust the universe. I literally burst out crying. I did not realize how much I wasn't totally willing to trust the universe. I was trying to control everything that showed up rather than just trust. Okay. As trust is not blind faith, right? Everything's going to be okay. It's going to be rainbows and unicorns every day. No, but is the universe going to show you something different? You know, I mean, even, I don't know, yesterday I arrived in Barcelona. I'm staying at this hotel that's right near the airport, right? And it's called Melia Hotel. But Melia Hotel has another hotel that's in the city. So I booked my car to the wrong hotel, right? And I get out And I go into the hotel and she's like looking for my booking and she's like, do you have a booking number? I'm like, yeah. And I show her and she's like, that's not this hotel, it's the other hotel. And I was like, damn, I went to the wrong hotel. So I quickly pinged my driver and I said, hey, you still around? I'm at the wrong hotel. And he's like, yes, I'll come back. I had sort of like rushed putting everything in my bag and I had my iPad sticking right at the top. I'm in downtown Barcelona and I was super tired and I was like, okay, just want to get to this hotel. But I was fine. I was like, okay, I made a mistake. Okay, it happens. Let's go. My driver was coming back, trusting the universe. The concierge guy looked at me and he was like, what are you doing? Because I was coming back out. And, he's Spanish, my Spanish, English, Spanglish, and he laughed. And then so he took my bags and he was helping me. But he looked at my handbag and he said, basically, you need to put that in. Like, don't, hide this. I was so tired. I wasn't even thinking about anything like that. So what if something like that is trusting the universe that someone's going to show up and go, hey, you're about to get pickpocketed. Put your iPad like right in your handbag. And I got it. Okay. So what if trusting you, trusting your body and trusting the universe is totally different than what you think it is? So trust you and the universe is on a t-shirt. The next one I think is pretty funny, and this came from my personal trainer in, I walked into the gym one day and I went, oh my God, it's so busy. And he went, no, it's not busy, it's popular. And ever since then, I started using this. So the t-shirt literally has the words, not busy, just popular. Because look at your day. How many times do you go, oh, I was so busy today? Now look at the energy, I was so popular today. Changes it, right? What if everything is just energy and the way we look at it, the way we receive it, the way we handle it, the way we navigate it is just with our choices, our questions, and allowing the possibilities to show up, but allowing you to change the energy on something, okay? Because a lot of the times you'll have a judgment or something, look at money. I go, money, 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 right? How many of you immediately something came up in your world? I can't have it. I doubt it. There's not enough. Da, da, da. How many of you is that's not your point of view? Destroy and uncreate all the points of view that you have around money, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100 shorts, boys, perverts, creations, bases, and beyonds, and see if something different starts to show up. If you were choosing your financial reality, what would you choose? Okay. Everything I'm talking about is about you being in question. That's literally what access consciousness is being questioned. Socrates spoke about it, a Greek philosopher from many, many years ago, about being in question and choosing. Ask daily. Okay. So I love that energy of not busy, just popular. And we had some really fun photo shoots with all of these. One of the photo shoots is at El Lugar in Costa Rica. And they were all friends. Every single person in the photos is a friend of mine, and they're beautiful inside and out. And I'm so grateful that I got to work with them. It was actually a funny story in Costa Rica in El Lugar. I had Isabella, who's the designer. She's amazing. And Indalecio, good friend of mine. He's the manager, one of the managers of El Lugar. And I was doing a class there. And I also saw a friend of mine, Lucas, who he's good looking, he's good looking, amazing being. And he's got tattoos all coming down on one side of his arm. And I thought, oh, that'll look great in the photo shoot. So I was looking at what he'd look like. I said, hey, will you jump in? And he was like, yeah, sure. I didn't realize he's trusting the universe again. Oh, hang on. He's actually really good handling horses. Somewhere in my, I don't know, utopian ideals world, I have one of my horses there is a foal. His name is Oreo. He's in the picture, but he's only pretty much with Lucas. Somewhere in my world, I thought Oreo's going to stand there and all three of them will be able to take photos with him. Oh no, he's a foal, right? He was like, what the hell's going on? But Lucas knows how to handle him. So we didn't get too many shots with him, but it was great. And then Pluma, my horse, she's looking at me like, why are you over there and I'm here? But Lucas, of course, knows how to handle horses. So he immediately sort of took the lead with her. So my other horse, Pluma, she's so beautiful. She's got one blue eye, one brown eye. She's in a lot of the photo shoots at El Lugar as well. And then we had the next photo shoot was at the castle in Italy, Casa Borgoni, which is a castle that I'm part owner of as well. with some friends of mine, David, Megan, and Gaia, and it was such a beautiful photo shoot. And the interesting thing about that was there was some stuff going on for a couple of people involved in the photo shoot that day. And we're all sitting around. I almost said to them, I went, well, I did say, actually, do you want to cancel it? Do you want to do a different time? And they went, no, we'll do it. We had so much fun. You can tell in the photos, absolutely. And pretty much everyone there said, you know what? I didn't know I needed to do something like this, to be involved in this. And it puts so much joy in all of our worlds. So hopefully you can see the joy and the happy, through the merch. Follow us on Instagram. The Instagram is little at makes you happy shop, and the U is the U, okay? But all of these will be in the show notes anyway. But I'd love you to follow us on Instagram. We've got some really fun shots. If you've got any of the t-shirts, etc., the merch, and you want to send us your photos, we'd love to be tagged in it and collaborate with you. For me, this is about changing the energy across the entirety of the world too, and we can do that through wearing a t-shirt. We can do that through our choices. When you wear one of these t-shirts and somebody, like I said, remarks at it, looks at it, reads it, etc., do we get to change the way other people be today? And that was one of my main priorities. Is we know we have a different choice. Will you please start choosing that different choice? Now, and also creating this, like the business side of it as well. Like I said, I know the merch business. I did it for a long time. I sort of got involved in the music industry as well towards the end, and was doing merchandise for musicians when I came across Access. And I was like, oof, okay, I think Access is what I'm here for on this planet in this lifetime. And I know about the business. So I've been looking, for good quality, etc., for probably 2-3 years, just randomly, like not, you know, every day, just putting, out there what that is. Found some great stuff in Peru, and then I didn't really like the quality it was once it was washed. It shrunk a lot. So this is all they're printed in Australia, but the brand is called AS Color, and I really like the ethics behind the brand. And I have thrown my t-shirts in the washing machine and the dryer, like really tried to, give them the roughest, welcoming ever, just to make sure that the quality is good. And it's great. It's wonderful. So I'm very, very happy with that. And that's what I was desiring to create. So the merchandise is sent from Australia. I've had a few people go, oh my God, the shipping. Well, it's actually not that bad considering where we are. So all you have to do is log in. You can create an account, put in there what it is you'd like to do, and it will calculate the shipping, because it's so different. It's different from one city to if you're living 30 minutes outside of there, etc. Don't forget, it's all in Australian dollars. So if you're buying, in euro, etc., it's, do the calculations, it's way better because it's like Australian pesos. Now, I would like to see a change in the world, and this is one of the ways I'd like to invite that change as well. So, the question too that someone was asking me is what's something people might not know about creating this brand? And I think I've just sort of answered that, is the constant like seeking of it and searching for it. What I notice in a lot of my business done different classes, which is a class that I facilitate a lot, is people come up with an idea or they have something and then they go, oh, it didn't work. It didn't show up in that time span. So they kill it. Okay. How many future possibilities have you killed because it didn't come up in the time span that you decided it should? Yes, everything at that is times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, perverts, creations, bases, and beyonds. If you look at this business, if I started working with Access and then I went, well, that's it, my merchandise business is closed, and I just close off to it, then I wouldn't create this. But what if every idea you've had, not just in this lifetime, in any lifetime, you allowed it to show up here and now, and you had access to it no matter what? So for me, it's like, what else would I like to create? What else would I like to choose? What else would I like to be in the world? And this request for something like this matches an energy. It's like I said, from the joy, from the happy, including things like the Castle Borgoni. You can go stay there. It's like got 16 rooms, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'm doing a 3-day body class there in December, beginning of December. It's up online. If you want to come to a 3-day body class, the prerequisite is foundation class. And it's absolutely stunning. And you can go stay there. The restaurant is fabulous. So including the castle in the energy, and also including El Lugar, my horses, which El Lugar is a property in Costa Rica that you can also go stay there. You can go horse riding. Can't ride my horse at the moment. She's pregnant and she's due at the end of September, which I'm very excited about. I'm going to get another horse that will make 4 horses that I have, but including all of these places around the world in it, so that it contributes to the energy of getting it out there, is the engagement that I would like to have with everything that I choose. So what is it that you would like to choose that you're not currently choosing? What if you just, threw caution to the wind, as they say, and chose it? So I'm hoping that me talking about the creation of this business and what it is for me, check it out, share it. Please, 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 please share it. It's a great birthday gift. You can even buy gift cards on there. Great birthday gift, great everything. What would you like to create in the world that you haven't chosen? And what if you could choose it? Okay. What if you just gave it a shot? What if it's not about the place of having to prove anything, or I want to say, like, people don't start a project or a business because they've already decided it's going to fail. Like, who gives a shit if this fails? Okay. I would like it to succeed, obviously. Let's go. And I did it. I chose it. I'm happy with my choice. Like, I love wearing these t-shirts. Maybe I'll just end up with a whole lot of t-shirts myself. I don't know. But I love wearing this, and it's matching an energy. It's bringing a smile to people's faces and the joy in their world. And for me, that's why I created this business. Whatever makes you happy. Okay. So what are you creating in the world, and what would you like to choose? So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. The next podcast I'll be in Mallorca, which I'm very excited to explore that whole island. Some time on the sea, on a boat, hiking, playing, relaxing. No matter how much you're working, whatever you're choosing to do around the world, please don't forget to live, okay? And living could be anything. Living could be taking a book and going reading outside. It could be going hiking. It could be jumping out of a plane. It could be baking, cooking. It could be moving your body. It could be dancing like nobody's watching. Anything. Choose to live, okay? What are you here for? What if the purpose of life is to have fun? Are you having any? No matter what's going on around you, we get to choose. And as we choose and as we be, we literally change the energy in the world, okay? We've got this. We've got this. I know we do. So again, thank you for being here. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Check out my YouTube channel. We've got a lot going on there at the moment, and you subscribe and you get notifications, etc. And follow us on Instagram, on both the Instagram, Makes You Happy Shop, and also mine, Simone Milasas. And if there's anything that you'd like me to talk about, slide into our DMs and let us know. Thank you again for you. I'm so grateful for all the feedback. I hear it, and I know a lot of you guys send something in, and just thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Dear universe, what else is possible?